3D World Runner from 1987.
So that's like 15 years before the...
Releasing in North America only a few months after the Japanese release.
Yeah, that'd be like 15 years before the Enix merger.
Ah, it was Matsu. Designed by Hironobu Sakaguchi and Nasir Gabelli. Ah, Nasir!
Yeah.
The guy who programmed Final Fantasy.
And Secret of Mana.
Like he apparently...
And like everything.
I love it says programmed by Nasir. Like, did he literally do all of the code? Is that what
It's
he
possible.
just wrote the whole game aside from the script and the assets?
Games didn't have large teams back then.
True enough. And composed by Nobuo Uematsu. Awesome.
So, hello, Internet. Why did it get darker all of a sudden?
Eh?
I was saying, why did it get darker all of a sudden? The image was just like...
I don't know. I'm doing this
Give myself kind of a halo. There. No, not that channel.
just in case I need to sleeping. You scrump. There we go.
You're a scrumph.
But it was being a number of clumps.
Yeah, we're on.
Yay.
But yeah, we're lacking a Steve, so the game listed is not accurate. I'm going to need to change that.
What is the game you have listed?
100% orange juice. And I need to figure out what we're playing instead, because every plan has fallen through.
Every plan caught fire, fell over,
And sank into the swamp.
It's, yeah, having issues with people accidentally going radio silent for no identifiable reason.
Mm-hmm. So, figuring out what to play instead is the puzzle that we face tonight.
Yep.
Excuse me. I did get my new mouse, though, so
Sweet.
you know, Borderlands 2 could have happened.
It could have.
Weird Chinese brand.
I even probably got the mod installed to let, like, 12 people play.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a knockoff of whatever Logitech design it is that Rose has, because it's a very similar mouse.
Are those LEDs red, or is it RGB controllable?
It's RGB, actually. I just
Of
have
course it is.
to install the controller software, which I haven't.
Can't get away from the RGB these days.
Nope.
It's in everything.
Uh-huh.
Soon it'll be in house pets.
But I was about to say something and then completely thrown off by that statement.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, here's the thing. The box is so freaking ugly, and I love the branding of Venus.
Well, Venus is probably like if
Okay,
there's a hell, it's on the surface of Venus.
Okay, the planet Venus, sure, but it's like goddess of love.
And maybe it's the dangerous kind. Like she's an obsessive stalker.
That would be an interesting.
And the apple is sharpened.
How do you sharpen an apple?
How do you make a bong out of an apple?
How do you make a what?
How do you make a bong out of an apple? You can
Bong.
do anything if you're determined. Did that one weirdo make a knife out of milk?
Yes.
Does anyone know why?
That person makes knives out of everything. The milk is probably frozen, or it's some other substance that is infused with milk.
That person makes knives out of everything.
Uh-huh.
You know, if that person were in high school, they'd have to go to counseling.
Michael once says, "Tsundere computer mice, only from Venus." Trademark.
Twin cords.
Anyway, the laptop is finished booting. I forget if y'all have seen this wallpaper before. I've had it for ages, but I love it. And I also like how visible it is on screen there.
Fire!
Water, earth,
Water.
bear.
By your powers can... Oh, crud, a bear!
Elemental bear. A bear! You made a bear! Change it back! Oh, I miss Buffy. Joss Whedon can write a show. I mean, damn. Okay, so yeah. Original plan was 6-player Borderlands 2, but despite my best efforts, I could not secure a 6th player. And one of those players, Steve, has up and vanished, and I don't know where he is. And so our other plan is...
Little Stevie.
Little Steva?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's kinda confusing
Oh,
'cause
would
he
you
normally
grab me a
shoots
drink?
What kind?
Do.
Does he normally stream today? I feel like he only streams today.
He normally streams with us tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
It's a typical slot for a stream crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't that set a house on fire? But yes, the secondary plan was to make orange juice and fax it to each other. But,
Without a
Steve came
Steve,
riffing.
yeah.
And Trey has it too, of course, but I'm guessing it plays better before than it does with 3.
Well, it's there would be one CPU in that case, like it is 4-player only, basically. It's just not all those
CPU
players
being a
have.
shared enemy.
Yeah, not all those players have to be human, but
It
there
would
do
be
have to be 4
Waluigi.
players.
The deadly Waluigi.
So, I need something else to play.
Indeed.
Probably something else one-offy on the chance that I can actually get Borderlands 2 organized next week. What else can we do? I kind of just want to... Where is it? Kind of just want to do a run or 3 or however many of Dungeons of Dredmor. Because that sounds fun. And is something that my previous mouse would have very much screwed up for me.
Oh yes, the double clicking.
Yeah, the double clicking would be bad.
Like in a monster zoo. Oof. Oof.
Whew, indeed.
No, I did not mean to use that ability twice. Now I'm out of things. That is bad.
Mm-hmm. So, let's do that. I don't think I already have the game set up to capture. I do not. I should already have overlay graphics, though. That is not the thing that I wanted.
Diggledy piggledy, it's time to get diggledy.
Yeah, that works. Excellent. So. Nope. Remove that multiplayer tag.
I thought it said for measure points. Or possibly monkey part.
Wouldn't we both need Garfield Kart? Or is it like local multiplayer only?
You know, I legitimately don't know.
Because, I mean, that would be hilarious. I cannot deny that.
To install a Garfield card, click the... Oh, there's multiplayer Garfield card available beta branch. You can now race your friends online with Garfield card. You've added a beta branch on Steam for online multiplayer mode. To have access to it, you can follow this instruction. Do the thing to subscribe to it.
Yeah. I'm tired. Sleep was not something that found me very easily.
Yeah, what do you mean? I feel like I was up till about 4:30 just starting launch.
I mean, that's not a wrong way of describing it, I suppose. Oh, come on. Detect the freaking game.
I feel like it's been about 20 of those minutes. Discussing painting the wall.
Let's see if that works. Can't tell if it works. Thanks, full screen thing.
Thank you, Dr. Bush.
probably be faster if you just turned around and used your computer.
Be faster still attack is up. Go home, turn about taxes, you're drunk.
Drunk on taxes. Drunk on taxes works for me. Damn it.
I'm drunk.
I'm that kind of tired. That is what I want it to do, yes.
Wasn't sure if base cam was undersized or
No,
Robert was pretty nice against Robert.
it's just alt-tabbing out of the game causes the game window to go black. So, I was not able to alt-tab and confirm that it was working correctly. Those two states were mutually exclusive.
Like the old days of FF11.
Yep. Except the game doesn't crash when you alt-tab.
It did.
It did. Okay, let's see what random has given.
It doesn't anymore. Window eventually became like, no.
I mean, basically. Pole arms. Why walk all the way over to stab them? Why walk all the way over to someone to stab them? The pole arm is the lazy person's answer to melee combat. Unarmed combat. You get combat bonuses and special attacks when engaged in foot-based unarmed combat. Artful Dodger. You can evade enemy attacks more easily and can leap about the dungeon. Master of Arms. You can use armor more effectively and can employ defensive maneuvers. Golemancy. You create golems. Assassination. You deal critical blows to monsters more often. And Alchemy. You can create potions, are generally very clever, and occasionally enjoy consuming large quantities of mercury.
Oh, Cody's lab. Don't drink that.
Sure.
Don't put your hand in there. Oh, Jesus. Thumb touched the nitric acid.
Cody.
Oh, great. We're doing a yellow cake run.
Mm-hmm.
This is Zoom. This is Leon.
Oh hey, a shop right off the bat when I don't have money.
Well, you can browse and make note of its location. If this was NetHack and you had a pet, you could have the pet steal everything in the shop for you. Good evening, Leo Hightower.
Hello.
Also, I don't know why, but there seem to be some ants in the channel.
Ants?
They're typing something. He's probably very disappointed that you discovered his new hiding spot.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, it's his fault because I heard a little noise, which sounded more like a rat doing something than a cat. But I was certain that the rats hadn't gone down. And I look and I see his tail just floating in the air, sticking out from under
The ants say, I thought I felt familiar with this game, but maybe I was remembering dozens of Dredmor, or did I just discover my dyslexia?
I think dyslexia. Mace of Lobster. Whoa! 10-star weapon on floor 1. Totally unaffordable.
Yendor is Rodney backwards.
You're Rodney backwards.
I'm not.
Uh-huh. Peasantly pitchfork. These are not really compatible at all with Artful Dodger.
I'm Leonard backwards. Get away.
I'll wander around a bit and then come back. Money! Oh yeah, what are my abilities down here? Animate Blade Being. Brings some malevolent silverware to life, at which point it twirls around and stabs anyone who runs into it. It's not smart enough to move on its own.
Animate blood. Oh geez, why is this happening? Ew. Smells metallic.
Oh, that's a line attack. Yay. Oh, hello there, Siegfried and B. Arthur.
B. Arthur.
Uh-huh. B. Arthur.
She's Maud. And also from the Golden
Well, that went better than I could have hoped. A heroine among the Bumblebee people with a long and distinguished career. And she is also non-aggressive.
Yeah, not heroin. Black Tar Bumblebee. Just mainline out of a poster. It's too bad this isn't being mirrored to the TV screen.
Oh, gee, ow.
Because I have legitimately no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, disarming traps while standing behind something so it doesn't hurt. This should be able to do the same. Well, yeah! It succeeded outright anyway, so... Damn it! There. Grunge ear. Ooh, there's a book. Little Red Cookbook. Certainly does something. I will take those benefits.
I definitely remember this game. A Steam sale also on a dream. Just a brutal reminder of how bad I am at 9 out of 10 roguelikes.
Oh, that's not good.
That's why everybody's bad at roguelikes until they decide when they're playing for a while. I had a promising NetHack character hit the rocks by accidentally eating violet fungus once. Seriously, that monk was doing pretty well. I was going like a protection dive in the Gnomish Mines. Ate the violet fungus just outside of Minetown. Accidentally punched my cat to death.
No.
I was hallucinating, so I thought I was being attacked by a monster. And the monk was strong enough that I think one hit did it. Because, like, I actually was being attacked by a monster, but the cat was helping the fight.
That's sad.
And in an attempt to protect myself and the cat, I made a move on what I was fairly certain had to have been the monster. And then had a sad feeling that then passed. Like, oh, I know what that message means. I just killed. And then I made the terminal mistake of doing that again when under attack, when it turned out to have been a guard. I don't know if the guard survived this. Because again, that monk was doing quite well. But the other guards were fine and angry. Though as far as I can tell, one of them was the luggage. You know, from this world.
Yeah.
Which is not actually a monster in the game. It only shows up when you're hallucinating.
Huh.
Yeah, Michael 1, severe death by hallucination. That one sucked. And a wizard that started with a ring of slow digestion, which is great for not starving. That was doing so well that I actually stopped playing the file for fear of ruining it.
Mystical graffiti. You find an arcane address.
11.11.11.
Can you write this down?
Is it 11.11?
No.
Write that in your copybooks now.
Okay. This is all run together, but bang, K-I-I-C, rag, orba. And that's it. Banky Crag Orba.
Wait, Crag Orba? Is it duos?
What? No.
Wait, yeah. So there you go. Right. Banky Crag Orba.
Shiv. I'm not sure that's a spell. Oh. Hello, potatoes. We're going back to get my power wrist.
The ants are terrible for set eating. Much better at throwing dice and chance until they get some repeated luck. I don't know. Relying on luck is how you wind up accidentally walking straight into a floating eye and then getting double dosed myself.
Hey, good job, Diggle, wandering into that trap. I didn't even know that trap existed.
Neither did the Diggle.
Oh. Freaking acid trap. That sounds like a terrible genre of music. There we go. Ooh. Boots.
What's falling out your dome?
It's one of those gargoyle traps. I keep on trying to disarm it. There we go.
Hope you're wearing a helmet.
I'm wearing Hachimaki.
That's not gonna help. You need a hard hat. If your hat can fend off a wrench, it can fend off a rock.
I don't need aquavitae in my hot bar.
I don't need aqua cloaca in my hot bar.
I don't need that either, no.
I have zero use for cloaca magnum.
Definitely don't need aqua regia in my hot bar.
Pocket solvent. Need to dissolve some gold at a moment's notice. And you're all out of mercury. Aqua Regia has you covered. One of the few things that'll do the trick. Great for protecting Nobel prizes. There's a tale of the Nobel-winning chemist, I think it was, that on the eve of World War II protected his Nobel Prize from the Nazis by dissolving it. It was either mercury or aqua regia.
It was aqua regia.
After the war, he had the gold reconstituted and the metal restruck.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Argus, the diabolic trousers. It's a pair of boots.
It doesn't sound like one.
No,
Sounds
it
like
doesn't.
a pair of evil pants.
Mm-hmm. And I do not currently have any shoes.
Or
So let's
pants.
put those on. Or pants, yeah.
Ah! Get pants!
My lack of pants disturbs you?
Disregard money, acquire pants.
I need money to acquire pants, then. Dang it. Crude iron helm. That's not as good as my Hachimaki.
How many people does it take to run a helm?
No.
I think the answer is one,
What does
but
that
your
do?
head goes in the seat instead of your butt. too if it's a helm built for a nip. In that case, wouldn't they just use 2 helms?
They would, I am certain.
That sounds far more reasonable.
Yes. Crude steel mace.
Crew service mace. The heck? It's like 12 feet wide with 80 pounds. Oh! That's a defense.
Yeah. This dimensional key bears a mysterious legend. Property of Triangulon, Saucier. Available for pub crawls and seniors buffet lunches, specializing in new and used dimensions. Yay! I found a dimensional key. Those are always nice. It is also where that code comes in handy, but not yet remotely.
But I still have it.
Gloves.
Yeah. It's in front of my face.
In fact, it's quite likely that I'll be dead long before I'll be able to survive using that.
It's a particularly dangerous feature.
Mm-hmm. Self-sealing stem bolt. Flippy floppies.
Flippity flaps.
Ha! Oh, well. That... I'm happy succeeding at that instantly, but getting a gargoyle arrow trap plate that is... that there's a door between me and the gargoyle.
That gargoyle arrow trap. I assume like a much later game kind of trap that has a bunch of fish packed.
Hmm.
Hey, come on, when you hear gargoyle arrows, what do you think?
I think arrows fired from a gargoyle?
Oh yeah, Medusa arrows is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's the kind of arrows that like knock you off of ladders and staircases. Times. There's a spaceship behind my head.
The magical artifact Bodir the Charnel Tapestry has been lost. Will you seek it? Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Charnel tapestry?
Uh-huh.
That sounds dreadful.
Another little red cookbook. Join Lord Dredmor. His dark yet efficacious magics shall unite all the Underdwellers in victory over the sunny surface world. This message approved by Lord Dredmor. Fear the large eyebrowed one. It brings strange diseases. Fight to the last. Yeah. Egg.
Seal.
Hey, another shop. Serpentine Sabatons.
I'm worried about that.
Clad your feet in mysterious star metal. Shh. Smell that? It smells like the infinite.
An unyielding and unending cinch.
Lil Menace Slingshot.
He's a menace, I tell ya.
Ooh, a rusty bardiche. That is certainly better than my peasantly pitchfork.
Does it turn to sword charge?
What?
Sword charge, yep. Does the reddish turn into them?
Why would a bardiche turn into sword chucks?
says Fate Testarossa.
Is that what she did?
Yeah, that picture I have that says Sword Checks, yo.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's Fate from Nana.
Right.
Her weapon is named the Bardiche.
Oh. That's not what a Bardiche is.
Yeah, what she is more of a, like, scythe thinger. And it transforms into sword chucks.
It's like a staff with some kind of sharpened shovel stuck on the end, okay? Yeah, that's about right. Let's equip it and sell that pitchfork.
How about a Bilgeese arm?
I like Bilgeese arms. I have fought with one before. Like,
Or the best pole arm, the halberd.
halberds are cool, but they're, like, enormous. Which is sometimes an advantage, sometimes not.
They're like Swiss Army pole arms.
Oops. That works.
I was going to say they're like Swiss Army pole arms because they do all the cool pole arm things.
But Swiss Army?
They axe, they stab, they go. But now that I think about it, I think the Swiss Guard totally have halberds like that.
Probably.
Just with silly stripe and patterns on them.
Alright.
That was as soon as it came out of my mouth with Swiss Army halberds.
Sure, that looks cool. Drink from the fountain. This water tastes foul. You feel sick. Oh boy, a 93-turn lingering weakness.
Oh. Did you get a projectile acid attack at least?
No,
Oh.
it's fine. Lingering weakness is just -1 max HP.
Oh. That's a very minor effect.
Mm-hmm.
Even this early in the game. Does he have like what, over 50?
No, I have 40. This is a test of the emergency dungeon warning system. This is only a test. Had this been a real emergency, you would be dead now.
That's not a useful warning.
Mm-mm. It was hiding. Door.
Yes, a 93-turn lingering lingus. Not to use that excuse next time I call him sick work.
Lingering lingus?
Lingering lingus. That sounds like the illness of dingus. Dingus malux. They're supposed to beat lingering fingus.
Pingus?
What's that stand for again?
I don't know.
P-I-N-G-A-S.
Uh-huh.
I just know what that was said for.
I didn't know it stood for anything, honestly.
Ludwig was using that for Leeds knows what it stood for, though.
Hindderp, the Stout Cabinet. That sounds good.
Hindderp.
Mm-hmm.
He's Hindderp.
That's not the right key.
Pretty sure Hinder refers to butt crustals.
Gross. Yeah, that's nice. +2 caddishness. +2 counter rate, I think that is. Yeah, +2 counter, +2 dodge. That is a good piece of gear. Eyeball Shrine.
Praise the Oculus.
The Prince. A regal mushroom better feared than loved.
Okay, then. Thanks, Michael Belly.
Mike Ovelli.
Yeah, Machiavelli.
Oh! See, I was hearing like...
You should look like Michael Ovelli.
Yeah, like Michael Ovelli. Like he's Irish.
Michael Ovelli.
Another shop.
He's the Irish Michael from the intestinal lining.
Sir Albrecht's helm. It is said that Sir Albrecht once successfully ignored the devil and, on a separate but related occasion, ran away from death. It is unclear what his helm had to do with any of this, except for its notable reduction of peripheral vision. -1 caddishness, +2 stubbornness, 2 piercing resistance, -4... was that mana regeneration? No, magic power. 8 block, 1 counter, 6 damage reduction? Armor absorption. Close enough. That's mana regeneration. -2 mana regeneration, -2 sight radius. Belt of Champions. I don't have a belt, but that's expensive. Oh boy, I could buy some cutoffs. Description: it's a real medical condition. Let's sell the old armor. Well, I can't afford... There's only one thing in this shop that I want, and I can't afford it, so... Oh, all the traps. Fail. Fail. Dang it. There's one there, too. I'm not going to try and disarm it right this moment, though. I'm going to come back over here, though, and sell that bow staff. Oh, potato. That sounded like some sort of weird expletive. Like non-expletive, rather, but you know. It's like, oh, potato. Yeah, you best run. Not going to mess with that right this moment. Oh, God. Okay, fine. I will eat something. I will eat this Danish. Yep. Oh, okay. Citrine. That monster is peaceful. Stab. Should probably eat something else.
Your health is low.
Dang it. Stupid traps.
Disable all the traps.
I'm trying, but failing, which means I'm taking damage. Ooh, more mystical graffiti. Another arcane address. If you would record, please. Frich, F-R-I-C-H, U-A-R-P-G-O-R-Z-A-R. Frichuarp Gorzar.
Fridge warp goes on.
Excellent.
Like one said, made of real champions.
Only the finest.
They're the best champions.
What does being fair have to do with anything? Says the chalk graffiti. Stop it.
Your health
Stop.
is low.
Never! Thank you, Tetsumice.
There we go. More lockpicks. Oh, my hip. My old man hip. My brittle old man hip. I'm not even wearing an onion on my belt.
That's the style at the time.
It is. Yes. Mudwin. Another Danish. More Aqua Regia. It's the water of kings. Frederick Lutefisk cube. Cupboards. Salt. Sliced bread. Saltpeter. Barbecue. Aged steak. Becomes grilled steak. Dodge. How dare you dodge me? What was that? The Barn of Onions. It's an onion. Okay. Gaga's Glaze. Fresh steak, steak, aged steak, grilled steak to make an armor enchantment. Alchemical Ooze. Alchemical Oz. Sorry, that was dumb. Yeah. Monster Zoo! Let's see here.
We need more ammo.
Yay! What did I get there? Can't tell what that is. It is Withercack, the drinker of mandrills. It's a shield. Pretty nice one. It's 1 extra astral damage, 1 piercing resistance, 2 block, 4 counter, 1 soak. I'll take it. Replace that little black monk. I lose 1 damage overall, but the other defensive benefits of that are pretty great. On a scale of 1 to awesome, it's super great. The awkward larder of books. Why would you keep books in a larder? Unless you're a Lexivore. Ow! Walked right into that. Inky Hog Lantern. My Little Anvil Junior Smithing Kit. Lutefisk. All the Lutefisk. Well, too bad. You're gonna take it, and you're gonna like it. And because they're fairly useless, let's put the softballs and the plastic bolts in there. I now have 33 Lutefisk. Repaz, the Bearer of Ooze. It's a club that gives +1 burliness. That's nice for a club. It's otherwise pretty crap, but +1 burliness is good. Steak. Eggs. Gonna make myself an omelet at some point. I've made my way back around here. Alright then. What was the quest I was supposed to be doing? Has my co-host fallen asleep? Fairy Watcher.
I'm having weird reactions to caffeine, pizza, and caffeine.
Getting the itis.
Nope. Up. There you go.
Yay, counter.
What does it do with being up to like staring at rocks? Stupid rocks in space.
To explain the staring at rocks, we were catching up on Steven Universe last night. I found a closet.
Alright, sure.
Inventory is full.
All the work.
Say what?
I'm like watching a Cartoon Network show really shouldn't reveal new rooms in your house, but there you have it.
There's a shop right there.
Closet, yeah.
Although actually I can drop some mushrooms in the pocket dimension, I guess. Oh, and
That's where the beans go.
some ingredients as well.
Isn't that where you put beans?
In the pocket dimension?
beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, yeah. Beans,
Oh.
lots of beans, lots of beans.
No, that's the parallel dimension. They're very similar. I can understand how you could get them confused.
Hey, Steve!
Hey, Steve!
It says unplanned nap sleeps.
I know how that goes. Inky Hollow Lantern. The Prince.
Inky Hog Lantern.
It's a type of mushroom.
It's a type.
It's a fungus.
Among Us?
Well, it is right there.
It's a fungulus?
A fungulus. A fungulus raft. How do you... There we go. That's how that works. I think you imagined that.
Wasn't there like some money needed thing? What are you cutting? The detergent? Sodium hypochlorite is an evil chemical.
Okay, back out. Grab those things. Stab. Miss. Stab. Stab. Stop it. Stop dodging. That's not fair. Bookshelf.
Counter with an undodgeable move.
Aged cheese, brie cheese, Havarti, Parmigiano Reggiano gives me defensive curds. A layer of gooey molten cheese acts to slow incoming attacks. Also, you smell delicious.
That's worrying.
Ooh, it's an anvil. Those are nice.
Anvils have the best item in the game.
I will save it for later, though.
No wonder it feels cold. It's 29.
Yep.
And mysteriously, the wind chill is 22. When it's calm.
Critical hits.
That's probably because the dew point is 21.
Have you seen this large eyebrowed person? They are wanted on charges of vandalism, looting, and mass slaughter. Report sightings to Lord Dredmor for rich rewards.
They're wanted on charges of hooliganism.
When you walk with Dredmor, you walk with victory. May his black geometry guide us. This message approved by Lord Dredmor. May his black calculus. His blackulus. His blackula.
He says, stop dodging monsters, that's cheating. Mark wants to do violence.
I do want to do a violence. How can I do a violence if you're always dodging? How did that hit me? Let's try it from over here. Yeah, that's more like it.
Intersected your position. That's usually how it happens.
Well, yes.
ball came
Yeah,
from
yeah.
inside the mole.
The worst idea ever. Grenade, 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 copper wire. Makes the worst idea ever. It explodes violently and without warning. Warning, your life insurance does not cover using hand grenades in this manner. It's an enchantment for a weapon. Knight's helmet. Steel, steel, steel. Bucket. Makes a knight's helmet.
That would make sense.
Woo! Level up. Your princess is in another castle. The sensible Swiss defensive stance. If neutrality doesn't succeed, enact this extremely sensible defensive stance to keep your enemies at bay. Enhances defensive abilities and allows repelling strikes at the cost of offensive damage.
Use this to dunk your enemies in the bin.
Aikido for adventurers. You've read an article in the back of Adventurer Monthly about this, now let's see if it works. Theoretically turns a dodge into a counterattack sometimes.
Neat.
I like that. Let's do it.
I think you should do that.
Thermite bombs.
Those sound fun. I want some.
Critical hit.
And the ill-conceived auditorium of lava.
That sounds so conceived,
Alchemist's lab. A couple of reagents. That's cool. Bone bolt. Bone boat.
Phone bolt.
Phone bolt?
Bolt to hold the phone together.
Okay, now I will go to store. Why is there a baddie in the shop? Thing that itches. Okay. Wait. Okay, so one softball I can sell for 2 Zork mids, but I can sell 8 for 20. That doesn't exactly add up. Fractional value.
1 for 2. 8
For 20.
I guess they're rounding up. Or down.
They are rounding. Okay. Now, what all was in here that was going to... I did not want to... Well, that's fine. don't care. Oh yeah, there was Climmy the Wizardly Strength, which was looking nice. No way I can afford the Emerald Sword, and it's not my specialty anyway. Could also afford a wood crossbow. Okay, so sure, let's get Climmy the Wizardly Strength, because that'll give me 1 acid resistance and +1 trap affinity, which is nice to have.
Yeah, you know, I bet it's using a floor function like a lazy.
Like a lazy.
Because if it is actually worth 20, then... one should be 2.5. Human rules of rounding would round that up to 3.
Yeah.
But if
Oops.
you're a computer and you're using a floor function, or you're just ignoring the... if you're using simple division and ignoring the remainder, then you
Sapphire Ring of the Deepest Sky, Sapphire Sapphire, Ring of Iron Thorns, the Mana Taurus, equals the Sapphire Ring of the Deepest Skies.
Okay. Let's do.
I don't know, didn't tell me. Just gave me the recipe.
$4
Flail of Pleiades. Triple fail plus Zodiacal Wand plus Pyrite Sun plus Platinum Ingot equals Flail of Pleiades.
Triple thing?
Triple flail.
Ah, the L escaped. Triple fail.
Halberd, spear plus axe. Amber Ring of Unending Time. Gold Ring, Aluminum Ring, Amber, Mana Taurus. Amber Ring of Unending Time. Oops. Yeah. Didn't even have to touch it. Ekvothfin, the Cyclopean Preening. Okay, that leaves this area up here. Oh boy, it's a mummy. It is a popular misconception that the creation of a mummy requires days of backbreaking labor and preservatives. A talented necromancer can knock one... Can knock one up with a fresh corpse, a plunger, and a large quantity of toilet paper.
Knock them together.
Yeah.
Back one out. Slap one together.
Critical hits.
Bring one up.
There.
When I first learned about the plus string operator in single-player basic, I thought that the other operators thought they existed too. In particular, you should be able to say, let's movie have exactly this. This dark side of it, what decades earlier. I love the plus operator. Plus and plus equals are very useful for dealing with strings. They so many of the DRT scripts and using functions.
Nice. It's basically just like a ton of free XP there. Well, maybe not a ton, but a chunk.
A few kilos.
Molotov cocktail.
Well, I guess in this game you drink that.
No.
Okay. Oh wait, I think it's low. In Kingdom of Golden Dead.
Yeah, except I think it's called a Masalov cocktail in that. No? This water burns like acid. The water is acid.
That explains so much. Can you grab a couple of big old vials of it?
Nope.
For alchemy purposes? Come on.
Ooh, the robe of the beige warlock. That's quite a bit of resistances there, but
What do this when turning down free salt?
well, I mean, I did drink all of it.
That happens surprisingly frequently. I just drank a bunch of acid. Mostly carbonic. Some citric in there.
Sonic wand.
And brominated vegetable oil.
Damn it.
Brominated?
My lips are too dry to do that. Bolt of mass destruction. Fiery wand. Voltaic cell. Spring-loaded power core. Iron bomb. Oops. Steak. Frog. Sewer brew. Aged steak.
I'm disturbed that the word frog was in there.
It wasn't?
Oh, you said grog.
Yeah.
I heard frog. Steak. Frog. Beef steak.
Acid spitter. Hefty stick. Acidic rhizome trap. Acidic rhizome trap. Acidum salus. Acid spitter. Helm of Threepwood.
The whole intent of cloud servers and distributed error checking and so on is to have the whole series of tubes repair itself. Your body, on the other hand, has a great risk of failing to succeed at taking care of itself. Consider 1. Measles, 2. Toxic substances and non-pH supplements, 3. Cancer, and 4. Tigers. Come now, the auto repair mechanisms are still going. They just don't go quickly enough to keep up with the damage inflicted by tiger exposure.
Oh, that's a tough choice. Okay, so my current body piece is 2 cattishness, 1 health, 2 dodge, 2 counter. And I just got another body piece that's 1 savvy, 1 dodge, 1 counter, 1 trap affinity. Trap affinity is really nice.
Maybe you can mainline the trap hat and switch to the other hat for other things?
I don't wear shirts on my head, but okay.
I thought it was a hat.
No.
Did you say helm?
No, I said body.
Oh.
I said body piece.
Shoe goes on head?
Oops. Yeah. Now I can pick up traps.
That's why in the mascot people have to get licenses for these things.
Damn it. Bauxite.
Your inventory is full.
My inventory is full. Your inventory is full. All your inventories are full.
She says, silly Daniel, you don't wear shirts on your head. That's where pants go.
Exactly. I forgot the sonic wand is just a trumpet. Frosted Sugarsmiths. Silly Diggle Sugarsmiths are for dwarves. Now with more marshmallows and sugar frosted crunchy bits. Try not to choke on the toy surprise.
You think dwarves would think of sticking it to the inside of the box?
These aren't the smartest dwarves. One sec. Can I do... I can do this. Yes, good. Turn all those things into things.
Steve says, it's the Duke one. Oh, dude.
Dude. Dee. No, wait, that was the wrong thing. Crap, how did...
Yeah.
Oh, I should have scrolled down and made the Reardon metal ingots rather than turn that plastic ore into plastic ingots.
Plastic ore.
Mm-hmm.
This game.
Yep.
I know it does that. I know. It's just dumb.
If I remember right, those sell for crabs. So turn it into lutefisk as well. Lutefisk for all. Is there anything else I need to do while I'm in here? Yeah, that's fine. Drink from the fountain. Wow, this water's boiling. 90 turns of infernal empowerment. You have been infused with infernal power and can really feel the burn.
Jesus. Second green food I got for you guys. It takes forever to eat these things. Just get enough each slice or eat bitter. Man, next time I'm freezing them and using them. Yeah, green foods are stupid. Please, let's get in here.
How many burgers should I use? That's a thing from... We've probably mentioned it on stream before. The monster Alsamund, the godfather of tigers, must be defeated, and the artifact Gug Falktwi, the ghost from beyond wisdom, must be used on the eyeball shrine of the silver monkey.
All of the kids were back.
Yep.
Thanks and consequence, yeah.
Hey, it's the lutefisk idol. I'll make an offering in a bit.
Let's get you ready to death.
No? That was a potato. Yes. Frying pan. Ooh. What was that? Where is that thing that I'm mousing over? Well, I got it. I do believe, yes indeed, that is better than what I have right now. Oh yeah?
Think about something coming forth from the invisible being very hard, heavy, and very red.
would they even be said to have color? How do you glue on color?
And of course, there's the occasional more automation.
I'm omitting that right now.
Ew, gross. Quick, throw it out the window before it decays.
Before it decays into dirt.
And like a derp neutrino and a photon at a very stupid frequency. Over there for a while. Hey, Amy.
Where the hell did that take me? Oh, there I am. Well, it took me closer to the thing. To the place I have left to explore. Me too. A locked chest full of lockpicks.
He's a pet monster in the fridge.
Yeah.
Wasn't supposed to land on the cat. Amazing how Lovecraft get cats. Rouse your clear rubbery fluff. Briefly.
More defensive cards. Black Pearl Ring of Sleeping Secrets.
More defensive packs with the curves.
Really holy shield. From Morladon the Sunweevil to Hotak the Divine Plumber, this complicated frieze of ideological images covers pretty much all your bases in the God department. Let's see. I haven't been that way. Don't know why I haven't been that way. Get out of the way, razors. That is no help whatsoever. No, wait, I don't want to go that way at all. Not even once. Well, no, that's not true. I do want to go there once.
Where's James?
What?
Here's the gym. Not a single sardine. I have forgotten the correct way to operate an orange, so I'm just gonna saw at this with a fingernail until it reaches.
This way first. Yeah, the two more shops right here. Do they have anything on? Oh yeah, the Belt of Champions, which I can afford now. Is there anything else? Yeah.
It's the WWF Championship belt.
Critical hits. Critical hits. Critical hits.
Yay. Well, there's that thing. Now, the eyeball truck.
Oh boy. These are definitely juicy oranges. That is some serious seedage.
Oh boy. Yeah, if those aren't navel oranges, they're gonna be full of seeds.
Critical hit. Critical hit.
Yay, Finnuz, the Portent of Wales. Oop. What is that? I still like my Bardiche better. But that does effectively clear this floor. Oh, no, it doesn't. There's still that spot right there. How do I get there? I go that way. Where does this one link? That's not bad. Oop.
Critical hits.
Pretty sure I recorded that one. Yeah. How did I miss this room before? Indgut, the Stygian cinder block. It's a basic staff. Ooh.
Critical hits.
Oh, that's dumb.
Critical hits.
Okay. Now downstairs. Or actually, sell stuff, then downstairs.
So, all the garbage.
Make sure there isn't anything that I want over here. Certainly nothing I can afford.
Critical hits.
Yeah, this orange has never ever put to sea even once.
Wrong navel. I was having a drink. And also my brain was trying to figure out what you said. I said also my brain was trying to figure out what you said.
Drink what?
I was taking a drink, I said.
Okay.
So I couldn't really speak.
Yeah, same you should never put to sea.
Yes. I eventually deciphered and then got.
That wasn't even enciphered.
Well, no, like, I heard put to seed. I was like, does that
Oh,
mean
they're
something?
playing seeds.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't eat oranges for breakfast. Too much time.
Odious puffball.
I mean,
Food to regain health.
sociopathic fluff ball. Alright. Everyone cheer. Oranges are.
What? Stop that. Why? There we go. Loculus. The engraving is unreadable.
Probably pretty.
Hey. All right. Let's start summoning mustaches.
Ah! So how worth it in your experience is max perception?
I don't think I've ever maxed perception.
Because it looks delightful. Blast something with laser eyes every 80 steps.
Oops. No, stop that.
I see.
Critical hits. Critical. Critical hits. Critical hits.
Bucket. Crunderdum. Jakuku. Pohweenus.
Jakuku.
Pohweenus. That That is such a dumb thing. But Pohweenus is too good.
Yep.
And now someone's going to clip me saying that phrase. I have brought this upon myself.
And I will always remember that Smaug the Unaudited was played by Bucket Crank.
Critical hits. Critical hits.
Monster fight.
Eat food to regain health.
There we go.
Critical hits.
Ooh, what's this? The Mellow Shrine.
Critical hits.
What's up?
Is that a stream inside your castle?
Oh,
Water feature inside of your building?
it's this is a catacomb, but yes. Or at least this floor is a catacomb.
Which means it's probably kind of a sewer ducty thingy.
What are you looking at?
What is that following you around with little hearts?
It's a mustache golem.
And he's in love with you?
I created him. So that's indicating that he's friendly.
Okay. You created him so. See, Papa, Papa. Wait for me, Papa.
Mm-hmm.
Critical hits.
Making out of your own mustache.
No. It's Baron Samedi. Samedi never let a small matter of death get in the way of having a good time. It is peaceful and not attacking you at the moment. Maple Shield.
Sounds delicious.
It's Canadian.
I'm gonna put it on my Cheerios.
I think I'll stick with the fancy shield I have, though.
Or a pancake.
It has less absorption and block, but it has 4 counter.
And it sounds like a pancake.
And 1 astral, or ethereal, excuse me. Zinc ring.
I'm back, Zinc.
I've got an empty ring slot. I almost said an empty zinc slot. Is there an elephant in here?
What's a Zing do?
What?
What's a Zing do?
A zing?
A Zinc ring.
Oh, it's just +1 health.
Galvanizing.
Yeah. Huh. Samedi is peaceful. Oops, but my mustache golem is going to attack him. And kill him in 2 rounds. Nicely done, little friend. Ooh, arcane wand. Thufibov, the collector of defenestrations. However that works.
Ah, the dimensional wave. The thing the game uses to make wands is silly.
The in-dimensional lathe.
Yep. It sounds wildly difficult to use.
Uh-huh. Out of the acid, buddy.
Do we do? Give me my hair. Mustache drop acid before.
Nope.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay then.
That bit is long. I don't even know what the F.
Full to regain health. Critical hits.
That weird gargoyle that uses a flash charge to do your accent there.
Nobjoy, the Tsar of Gemstones.
So gemstone season, does it?
Okay. That's,
Just give it what for then. Just give it a bit of a time, you know what I mean.
there we go. I just realized that's covering up my buffs.
Important customer information. Or inventory is low.
In what world does that sound like a sneeze?
I don't know. In what world does a sneeze go? La Plugenort.
In yours.
Or I believe it is Plugenort or something like that.
Only in yours.
Let's not go there. It's a silly place.
It sure is.
Can you upgrade your mustache golem to an iron mustache golem?
Not at this point, if at all.
Can you cast iron mustache golem?
Oh. I would have difficulty getting that into the game, I believe.
How did you know I was wiggling it around the air?
Because I actually didn't know that you were wiggling it around in the air.
That doesn't sound like a good way to know something. Knowing by not knowing sounds ridiculously sound. Hello, room absolutely filled with sparkly loot.
Yep. Let's take a look at these things, see if there's anything interesting I can make out of things. I can make brandy. Oh no, wait, I only have one Merlot. Can I make Slivovitz? No, I only have one plum. I can't make Dwarven Gut Rot though, right? Yeah, I can. I made a lot of it.
You can keep your filthy.
I can turn it into Aquavitae. I can also turn Absinthe into Aquavitae, but I kinda don't wanna. Ooh, I can make Digglenog.
Yeah, you should keep the green fairy around. For her strange suggestions.
Adventuring plants plus grog equals pirate training breeches. Ooh, I can turn potatoes into vodka.
At least that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
And you can turn vodka into rocket fuel. By watering it down a bit. Because vodka's got too much alcohol to make safe rocket fuel.
Okay, brimstone plus saltpeter equals oil of vitriol. Oil of vitriol plus chalk plus coal plus salt equals aquafortis. Aquafortis plus acidum salus equals aqua regia. Aqua regia plus gold equals solution of gold.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see. Rust plus aquavitae equals potion of healing. Mudwind plus aquavitae equals verdant poison. Powdered aluminum plus aquavitae is potion of mana. Let's see here. That's something that I can do with the Mudwind anyway.
How would you want? Pour it down and drink it. No, wait, that's oxygen. Drink oxygen and never have to breathe again.
I'm not sure I like the sound of that guarantee.
guards were able to hold their breath through almost the entirety of the water temple.
Still, don't know if trust.
Not to mention all that exertion from all the fighting. I'm not sure how much oxygen there was in the oxyale. Maybe it, like, magically produced it. In the user's blood.
In the user's butt.
I don't want the effect lasts.
Forever.
Yeah, because if it's permanent, then wow, that's some special stuff you got. And also, you never have to breathe again.
Mm-hmm.
Air? That's for scrubs. I got self-oxygenating blood.
Can he swim? Listen, bud. He's got self-oxygenating blood.
That also give you like a vast stamina boost. Like your stamina would no longer be limited by oxygenation; it would be limited by other chemical factors.
Stamina. You didn't actually say that. I just thought of it and it amused me.
Oh, I thought you like found some.
No.
Like you were digging through a pile of fish.
Pile of fish.
Salmon, trout, salmon, pike, salmon, guanine, adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine.
Empty flask plus 2 brimstone, noxious brimstone flask.
You'll never work this down again, Christy.
Ah, so that's how I make empty flasks. Oh, it is Masalov cocktail in this game. This is the one that is called that. A potent, nearly potable fiery bomb. Don't spill.
Nearly potable. But not.
But no.
Importantly, not.
Oh hey, I can turn diggle eggs into brimstone.
It's like methyl alcohol. It's like methyl anything. Don't. If it has a methyl group on it, your cells will be very stupid about how to deal with it and hurt themselves. Don't consume, absorb, or contact it.
Blink dust.
That sounds like fun.
Rust plus salt equals blink dust. Perfect for when you find yourself around someone you don't want to be around.
Oh, it's a fire ring.
Oh, that's neat. I can turn alchemical ooze into any number of things. Well, saltpeter, brimstone, or plastic ingots anyway.
Slightly pluripotent ooze. What have you got to lose? Oh, that treads dangerously into the slime puns territory of the donkey quern.
Mm-hmm. Only one of those.
I don't think I ever did play Dairy Queen 9.
Me neither.
I still have the demo disc.
I've only played 6. Also, that's 8.
Oh, it's Dairy Queen 8?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
9 was on the Wii. Wii!
And over here they call it Dog Blank instead.
But not since, like, a long time ago.
Oh, it's just called Dog Blank on the NES?
Yeah, I think so. Why are you doing that to the abbreviations?
Why you're accepting my horrifying interpretations of the initialisms in question.
It's easier than trying to argue. I know what you're talking about, and that's good enough.
I could have said something less uncouth, like Delta Wobble. Ooh, or more apropos to the game at hand, Diggle Wiggle.
Diggle wiggle, diggle wiggle,
Good
diggle.
old Diggle
Yeah.
Wiggle too. Or as they called it in Japan, Dairy Queen too.
Let's see, what else can I make out of things?
Fight the dragon. Maybe your dad's the dragon. Eat a dilly bar. Cast spells like Zap and Ouch.
Yeah, the spells have weird names. Oh boy. All of these things that I don't have the requisite skill to make. Except for the plastic ring, which does nothing.
And that thing is actually Ouch, but it's something like Ouch.
Also make a crude steel axe.
That's the classic ring have a spider hat. For all of your 8-legged beasts. Creak.
Battered kite shield. Kite shield. Heater shield. It's just a regular shield. I don't know why they call it that.
Does it have an electric coil on it?
Nope.
I feel like resistance. So it's not a shield with a heater on it?
Nope.
Darn.
Like it said, it's just a regular shield. Three-pronged sword. The three-pronged sword is designed so that if one blade falls off, you still have two left. That's redundancy. That's safety. Don't drink and slay.
Safety.
You make it by combining 3 iron swords.
Gidoo. But why are you using a metal as heavy as iron for this?
I don't know.
If it's gonna have 3 blades sticking way on out, you want them to be made out of something lighter.
Oh, wait, I should just reduce that to have skill.
Steve says,
Nope.
diggle, diggle, diggle. Bomb, 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 bomb. And I'm thinking of Jason Derulo's Wiggle. I believe that's the joke Mark made.
Wiggle, wiggle,
Yes.
wiggle, 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 yeah.
Diggle, wiggle.
Diggle, wiggle. I could make more crude blade traps.
Operated by
Why not?
mustache films?
Nah. Actually, no. The golems make traps kind of not helpful.
You know, crew-served traps sound not so useful as traps.
Well, I mean, they're not automated, but it's like having those pots of boiling oil. You know,
Yeah, it's like head fryers and not much more.
or you know, things like that. Just trap the enemy in a place and then go. "Brr." It's like an ambush, except that they can't really fight back, basically.
Crew-served traps. call them pots of boiling oil. I call them head fryers. They're used for deep frying people's heads.
My HP is lower than I thought it was. I should have been walking. Oh, I don't regain HP in here.
Oh.
It would probably be pretty broken if you could, now that I think about it.
Could you regain HP in there if you ate a food?
That seems likely, but I don't know for certain. Great helm, tinkerer's goggles, self-sealing stem bolt, slotted bronze discs makes imperial boilerplate helm.
Because I know the food works by giving you a regen.
Murderous
If
rutabaga.
what effects with the ticks don't go, then I suppose you wouldn't heal. Murder victims.
Lubaga.
Murderous Lubaga.
Food to regain
Yes, more Gaga's glaze. The window of elements. Oh, it disappeared. It appeared to be a gemstone window of the Windows logo, though.
Let's do the 4 elements.
Earth, fire, water, bear.
Fire and bear. Earth, wind, and fire and bear.
critical hits.
Nice use of that plant tag.
Thank you.
Food to regain health.
Oh, my golem is nearly dead.
I'm sure you're using everything yourself,
Yeah.
though. Is it the triggering traps?
No, it's just been fighting things. Grave of Gretchen, a member of the Heroic Friends. In the end, the one situation Gretchen could not charm her way out of was the deadly embrace of the dwarven riddle trap. The dwarves don't really understand how riddles are supposed to work, so they invariably end in crushing and spikes. Let's see. Pants! Fabulously striped pants.
Ridiculous striped pants.
Statue of Dredmor.
Your inventory is full.
Such really good.
Such inventory fullness. I should go back upstairs and sell something. I am surprised I have not died tonight. I did not die on stream tonight. Da, 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 da. Okay, equip those pants. Sell the maple shield, buckets, the rough iron Hjalmer, Super Nintendo Hjalmer. Sell the burnt out wand. Sell the crude blade trap. And then put some stuff away in here. Away! Turquoise. Did I drop some plumber's agaric over here, or have I just... No, I've just been holding on to it. Okay. Oh, I need to sell that rusty sword, too. Okay. That leaves me with about 2,500 Zorkmids. Which is not terribly helpful. But oh well. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll be back on Saturday with Subnautica. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. And then next Thursday, hopefully we'll be able to finally start Borderlands 2. I'll be working hard to find a 6th, not at the last minute. I was a bit lax in doing that this past week because I did not expect to have my new mouse in time tonight. So, yeah, caught by surprise, and it bit me in the ass. Blurg. Anyway, thanks again. Hope to see you all next time.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.